Happy Monday, everyone. My name is Sheena, and we will be doing a OM Power Flow class today. This class is pretty much open to anyone. However, it would be a really good idea to have some kind of background in yoga, maybe level one or two. Typically, I try for the power classes to go a little bit faster and also work on strength building and obviously a little bit of flexibility in there as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed the class today. Always remember we have a ton of other classes that you can check out on the House of RhythOM website or our Instagram or our Mind Body app. So just make sure you check that out. So before we start getting into any movement, I always like to have us become aware of ourselves. So that includes our breathing, what's going on in the body, just kind of centering ourselves and becoming aware of where we are right now. So let's go ahead and close our eyes. You can sit in a comfortable position, however you like, whether it's lotus or like myself, I usually start off on my shins. Go ahead and close your eyes and relax the face, relax the jaw, the mouth, the tongue, either bringing it away from the roof of the mouth or maybe just letting it float. Releasing your shoulders. And then with your arms, just letting them just hang. And with the palms of your hand, either bringing them to your knees or just letting them lay on your thighs. So here, just taking a quick, I want to say, inventory of your body right now. So starting from the crown of your head, kind of visualize the energy at the top. And then we're going to work our way all the way down to our toes. Allowing yourself just to become present here in your body, in the space that you're in. And once you've done this inventory, once you've done a really good scan and you're at the tips of your toes, let's go ahead and reverse and come all the way back up to the crown. And once you've reached the crown of your head, we're going to take a deep inhale through the nose. But with this inhale, we're going to bring it from the belly. So deep inhale. And once you get to the top, we're going to exhale through the mouth, emptying out those lungs all the way down to the belly. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. On your next inhale through the nose, once you get to the top, we're going to exhale through the nose again. So do this a few times and just become aware of the breathing. How does it feel? You don't have to exaggerate it too much because you also want to be gentle to the lungs at the same time strengthening them, but you don't want to be too rough with yourself. And just keep in mind with these kind of breathing practices, it can either build the fire in the core, which is inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the nose. It's going to build the fire throughout your practice. And if you're exhaling through the mouth, that's going to cool you off. So on your next inhale through the nose, let's go ahead and exhale through the mouth. And then we're gonna go ahead and come onto our mats onto all fours. Once you're here, let's go ahead and kind of make our way to a seated position again, just the length of your mat here. And then we're going to allow ourselves to roll back very slowly until we come down to our backs. Once you're down on your back, let's go ahead and bring the knees into the chest and give ourselves a big hug. And from this position, we're going to do a few rocks back and forth along the length of our spine, just to kind of wake it up. Once you get a little bit of momentum after maybe 3 to 5 rocks, we're going to come up and meet in tabletop position. So it's kind of like a transitional movement, which I'll show. So let's just go ahead and do a couple rocks here. And on my 5th rock, I'm gonna cross my ankles, bring my palms down, bring my knees back, and we meet in tabletop position. So here, the shoulders are stacked over the wrists, the knees are hip width distance apart, the palms and fingertips are spread nicely on the mat. So here we'll do a couple rounds of cat and cow. So on your next inhale, we're gonna go ahead and to cat. So pushing that upper spine all the way up to the ceiling, rounding really well here. And then exhale, dropping the belly, lifting the hips. Last to come up is the head, arms straight. Inhale, bringing the belly all the way in, rolling the spine all the way up to the ceiling. Exhale to cow. So we'll do a few more rounds of this at your own pace. And you can also add some organic movement into this if you want to make, bringing your hips to the left or to the right, maybe sending them back into circles. Just warming up the body. Here is also a good time to stretch out the wrists. I always like to do that at the beginning of practice so you can rotate the fingertips to the outer edges of the mat and then also rotate them toward the body. If you'd like, if it's in your practice, you can bring the knees a little bit closer and then push the hips back to the heels, giving the wrists a really good stretch. Another good wrist stretch here is to just go ahead and take a seat onto the heels and then bring the arms all the way up, fingertips stretch up to the ceiling, and then you're going to make really tight fists with your hand frequently, really fast. So leaving the arms straight and just making really tight fists very quickly, just to give the wrists a nice exercise. Whenever you're done with this, we'll meet back into tabletop. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to do an extended child's pose here. So extend the knees to the outer edges of the mat, toes to touch, and then we're going to send the hips all the way back to our heels. Here, we're going to try to make sure the bottom of our butt is touching our heels, and then we're going to fold forward, bringing that chest down to the mat, forehead down to the mat, arms straight, shoulders away from the ears. And here, just do a couple head rolls to the left and to the right. On your next inhale, we're going to center ourselves and then walk our hands out toward the right. So this is a side stretch in child's pose. Inhale back to center. Exhale, walk the hands out to the left, side stretch to the left. And if you want a deeper stretch here, you can take that right hand, Grab a hold of the left wrist. Inhale back to center. Exhale, we're gonna go to the right one more time. For that deeper stretch, the left hand can grab a hold of the right wrist. Inhale back to center. And walk the hands out to the left. Inhale back to center. And we're just going to kind of do some movement here, rolling from child's pose into a low or high cobra. So you might have to do a little adjustment with your knees here, bringing them just slightly closer. But you're going to inhale and roll forward, then bringing the hips down to the mat, bending the elbows just slightly. Exhale, opening up the chest, rolling the shoulders away from the ears. Inhale, push back to child's pose. And we'll do this. Do this at your own pace a few times just to warm up. And whenever you're ready, we will meet back into tabletop. So let's go ahead and come all the way up, bringing the arms and fingertips up into the ceiling. So here, just creating length, so stretching up toward the ceiling. Exhale, let's go ahead and bring the hands back, fingertips pointing down toward the floor. So here we're gonna really have active our glutes and just the front side of our body, holding tight to that. We're gonna draw the elbows into each other, open up the chest, and then lean back for camel. Inhale, come back up. And we'll do that a couple more times. And maybe the third time we'll try to go a little bit deeper. So on your next inhale, bringing the elbows together, holding everything in tight, opening up the chest, creating length, dropping the head if you need to. Inhale, come all the way back up. So now if you want to go a little bit further, you can release the hands and either bring them to your heels, or if you want to go a little bit further past the toes, or if you just want to keep them here on the upper thigh, that's also fine for you as well. So inhale, making sure we're holding tight to everything here in the middle, opening up the chest, leaning back, taking the hands to the heels. Deep stretch. And then come all the way back up. For me, I like to also stretch the back of my neck after doing that. So coming down, bringing the forehead down to the mat, taking your arms and kind of wrapping them around the back of your legs, roll forward. So you're flexing the back of your neck, stretching that out a little bit. All right, so let's come back up to tabletop. And here we're actually going to come all the way down onto our forearms and push ourselves up to a low plank. We're going to do a little bit of ab work here. So using that right knee, we're going to bring it all the way up to our right underarm, drop it down to our right elbow, bring it over to the left elbow, then bring it all the way up to the left armpit, bring it back to the right armpit and send it back. We'll do it with the left. So bringing the left to the left armpit, dropping it to the left elbow, bringing it over to the right elbow, up to the right armpit, back to the left armpit, and send it back. We'll do that one more time for each side. And you can do it at your own pace. Once you're back into this low lunge, Let's go ahead and bring the knees down to the mat. Come back up to all fours. Curling the toes under, we're gonna send the hips back to our heels and slowly and with awareness, come up to our first downward dog. So go ahead and adjust your hands however you need to here. And walk your dog, bending your right knee, left knee. And then on your next inhale, we're gonna bend both knees, look at those thumbs, hop, walk, or jump to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift, fingertips to point toward the mat, or they can come to the shins. You can also bend the knees here if you need to. Exhale, fold, so chest comes all the way to the thigh, rolling forward just a little bit, hips coming high into the air. Exhale, let's go ahead and come all the way up, slowly. Fingertips reach toward the ceiling. And then we're gonna do a slight back bend, so open up the chest. Inhale back to center. Let's go ahead and drop the right palm to the right thigh, and we're gonna extend that left arm all the way up and over, so side stretch. Inhale back to center. Exhale, the left palm comes to the left thigh, right arm all the way up and over, side stretch. Inhale back to center one more time. Right palm to right thigh, left hand up and over. Inhale back to center. And left palm comes down, right hand goes all the way up and over. Inhale back to center, and one more back bend here. Exhale, fold, chest to thigh. Inhale, palms come down to the mat. Right foot goes back, left foot goes back. And these next set of movements is chaturanga. So we go from high plank, squeezing the elbows into the body, low plank. Inhale, up dog. Rolling the shoulders back, opening up the chest. The gaze should be directly in front of you. And then we push back to downward dog. Oh, there's a little spider on my mat. Okay, all right, so inhale, bend the knees, look at the thumbs, hop, walk, or jump to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Back bend. Exhale, fold. Chest to thigh. Inhale, palms come down to the mat. Right foot goes back, left foot, and chaturanga. Okay. All right, so bending both knees, hop, walk, or jump to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Back bend. Exhale, fold. Inhale, chaturanga. As soon as you come back to your downward dog, let's go ahead and lift that right leg all the way up. And let's go ahead and walk the hands all the way back to that left ankle. So we're doing a standing split here. You can either keep both hands down or maybe grab that left ankle with the left hand, drawing the chest in a little bit closer, crown of the head pointing toward the floor. Right hand can be like your kickstand. And if you want to play a little bit here, you can also kick off into maybe a handstand, maybe if that's in your practice. So just playing around first, kicking up. Okay, so to come out of that standing split, let's go ahead and walk the hands back to a three-legged dog. Rolling forward, we're gonna bend that right knee and bring it right outside the right hand, dropping the left foot flat, opening up to warrior one. So for warrior one, this right knee should be pointing toward the right pinky toe. And again, we're gaining length here. So reaching up toward the ceiling, hips should be squared toward the front of the mat. We're gonna go ahead and goal post the elbows, bending the elbows, opening up the chest and leaning back. Exhale, let's go ahead and lean over that right thigh, interlacing the fingers behind us. And then we're gonna come all the way down into humble warrior, right shoulder to right knee. Neck should be straight here. Inhale, come all the way back up, reaching high toward the ceiling. Exhale, palms come to the inside of the right foot. Right foot goes back and chaturanga. As soon as we get back to downward dog, we're gonna lift that left leg all the way up and walk the hands all the way back. Again, right hand comes to the right ankle if it's in your practice, chest to thigh. And if you wanna go ahead and try to kick up off this leg, you can do so. Woo, a little bit of momentum on that one. All right, so to come out of the standing splits, we want to go ahead and walk our hands all the way to a three-legged dog. Rolling forward, bringing that left foot just outside of the left hand, dropping the right foot up to warrior one. Creating length, putting a bend in the elbows, opening up the chest, lean back. Exhale, leaning forward over that left thigh, interlocking the fingers together, opening up the chest, and folding over, bringing the left shoulder to the left knee, humble warrior. Inhale, come all the way back up, warrior one. Exhale, palms come down to the mat, left foot goes back, and chaturanga. As soon as we come back, right leg goes all the way up, rolling forward. We're gonna go ahead and bring that right foot down, dropping the left foot, coming all the way up to warrior one. Bending the elbows, opening up the chest. Exhale, leaning forward, interlacing the fingers behind you, and coming to humble warrior. Inhale, releasing the arms, come all the way back up to the ceiling. Exhale, palms come down to the mat, and chaturanga. Soon as you come back, left foot goes all the way up. Rolling forward, left foot outside, that left hand dropping the right foot. Arms come all the way up. We're in warrior one. We're gonna bend the elbows, open up the chest and lean back. Exhale, lean forward, interlacing the fingers, coming all the way down to humble warrior. Inhale, release the arms, send them all the way back up. Exhale, chaturanga. As soon as you come back, that right foot goes all the way up, but this time walk the hands all the way back to the left ankle. Standing splits. Again, if you want to kick up on here, you can. Into handstand. Whenever you're ready to come out of the standing splits, we're gonna walk the hands forward to a three-legged dog, rolling forward, right foot outside of the right hand, dropping the left foot, warrior one. Bending the elbows, opening up the chest, lean back. Exhale, lean forward, interlacing the fingers behind you, opening up the chest and folding, bringing the right shoulder to the right knee, keeping the hips square toward the mat. Inhale, release. Arms go all the way up. Exhale, palms come down. And chaturanga. As soon as you get back, left leg goes all the way up. Walking the hands to the right ankle. Standing splits. Or taking the time to kick up into a handstand. Whenever you're ready to come out of that standing split, we're gonna walk the hands out to a three-legged dog, rolling forward, left foot outside the left hand, dropping the right foot, arms go all the way up. Go posting the elbows, opening up the chest, lean back. Exhale, interlace the fingers behind you, open up the chest, lean forward. Whenever you're ready, release. Arms go all the way back up to the ceiling. Palms come down to the mat. Left foot goes back. Roll forward and chaturanga. So we meet in downward dog. Let's go ahead and send that right leg all the way up. We're gonna go ahead and bend the knee and bring the knee all the way to the nose and hold. Let's go ahead and release, bringing that right foot between both of our hands. Come all the way up to crescent lunge. So here we're gonna play around with our balance. So once you're in crescent lunge, here, let's go ahead and create length again through the torso, through the spine, fingertips stretching toward the ceiling. Hips should be square toward the front of the mat, but the feeling should be that the thighs are kind of virtually squeezing together. So here we're going to kind of gradually push into that right foot and off of the left foot into warrior three. So your arms can be like airplane, or you can bring them to a prayer hand, or you can extend them in front of you. Your hips should be square toward the mat, flexing that left foot toward the floor. Whenever you're ready, we're gonna exhale, and then we're gonna bring that right hand down to the mat or to the floor. And then we're gonna open up the chest and the hips to the left. Left fingertips go toward the ceiling. So we're in a half moon here. Now we're gonna go into reverse moon. So we're gonna slowly bring that left hand down to the mat, at the same time squaring the hips toward the floor, keeping the left foot flexed, adjusting however you need to. So we're shifting that weight, and then we're gonna twist, bringing the right fingertips all the way up to the ceiling. And the gaze, you can take it up to the ceiling as well. Exhale, let's go ahead and release, bringing the right hand back down. And then we're gonna slowly and gracefully come back to our crescent lunge. All right, so let's go ahead and do a twist now that we're in this crescent lunge. Let's go ahead and bring the palms to heart center. And then we're gonna lean forward and go ahead and twist to the right, hooking that left elbow to the right knee. Elbows should be stacked and the gaze should go toward the ceiling. Left leg should continue to be straight, heel facing toward the ceiling. Exhale, release. We're gonna open this up to warrior two. Adjust the feet however you need to. And then we're gonna flip that right palm up, bringing the left palm down to our left leg, and the right arm goes all the way up and over, keeping a generous bend in that right knee. Inhale, back to warrior two. And here you can do side angle, which you can bring your right fingertips to the mat, or maybe your right elbow to your right knee, left fingertips to the ceiling. Or if you want to go for something that's a little more challenging, extending both of the arms out, opening up the chest, arms are parallel to one another. Inhale, back to warrior two. Windmill the hands down to the mat. Right foot goes back, and chaturanga. As soon as you get back to your downward dog, left leg is gonna go all the way up. We're gonna roll forward. I'm sorry, we're gonna hold that knee here to the nose for a moment. So this is a lot of compression, working with the abs and control. Exhale, let's bring that left foot between the hands and come all the way up to crescent lunge. So whenever you're ready, we're gonna go ahead and push through that left foot and gently glide off of that right into warrior three. Again, hips square to the mat. Exhale, let's go ahead and, you can use a block too. I'm so sorry, I didn't mention this earlier. You can bring the left palm down to the floor or a block, and then the right fingertips go all the way up to the ceiling. So half moon. And you'll notice on some side of each side of your body, it's not the same. Your balance might be a little different. Exhale, let's go ahead and bring the right hand down. And here we're also going to rotate the hips to be parallel to the mat. Right toes are flexed. And then we're gonna go ahead and twist, opening up the chest to the left. And whenever you get there, the gaze go up towards your left fingertips. Exhale, let's go ahead and release. And gracefully come back to crescent lunge. Exhale, let's go ahead and open this up to warrior two. Shoulders away from the ears, adjust the feet. Flipping the left palm up toward the ceiling. We're gonna go ahead and do a reverse warrior. Inhale, back to warrior two. And side angle here. Again, left elbow to left knee, left fingertips to the mat, right fingertips up to the ceiling, or you can have the arms parallel together. More challenging this way. Inhale, back to warrior two. Windmill the hands down to the mat. Left foot goes back, and chaturanga. And we will meet in downward dog. So for the next few movements, I totally want to work on the hips and hamstrings and all that good stuff. So let's go ahead and, let's go ahead and send that right leg all the way back up. We're gonna bend the right knee and move our hips in circles. Let's go ahead and reverse. Whenever you're ready, send that right leg all the way back up. And then we're gonna roll forward, bringing that right foot just outside of the right hand into a low lunge. So here we're gonna roll over into the right side of our right foot and the left side of our left foot with a twist here. So pushing that right knee and thigh away from the body. And let's go ahead and release, coming back to the flats of our feet and our toes. And then we're gonna drop the left knee and lift the left arm all the way up. Left fingertips to the ceiling and twist. Exhale, let's go ahead and release. So let's go ahead and bring our forearms down to the mat. Now you can stay in this pose if you'd like, or if it's a little too much, you can also take a block and just hold on to the block. So this is working out your hips and PSOA muscles here. And then on your next inhale, let's gently push ourselves up if we're on our forearms. And then we're going to go ahead and heel toe your foot towards the middle of your body. And then again, we're going to roll over onto the right side of that foot, lizard pose. Fingertips should be pointing toward your toe, your foot. Okay, so your right foot should be in between your hands, and your toes are and your fingers are pointing towards your foot. And then you'll lean forward, folding over. So you should definitely feel this in the right hip and hip flexors. All right, let's gently push ourselves up. And then we're gonna go ahead and finish heel toeing that right foot over to the left wrist, dropping the right shin to the mat for pigeon pose. So for some people, you can keep the shin parallel to the edge of the mat, or sometimes you may need to bring that foot a little bit closer towards the body. You can stay up if you'd like, or exhale and fold forward over that right leg, extending the arms all the way out in front of you. On your next inhale, let's go ahead and gently push ourselves back up. And then we're just going to switch sides on here. So let's go ahead and maybe roll over onto that right hip. Bring the left leg over in front of you. Send that right leg back so that you are in pigeon pose on the left side of your body. So again, you can stay here if that's comfortable for you, or exhale and roll forward. All right, let's go ahead and gently push ourselves up. And here we're going to actually bring that left foot out in front of us. So we're going to kind of reverse what we did on the other side. So heel toeing that left foot to the center between your hands, you're going to point your fingertips toward that left foot and roll forward to lizard. Exhale, gently push yourself up. Have the fingertips facing toward the front of the mat, and then heel toe that left foot outside of the left hand. And then we're going to come down onto our forearms. Again, you can also use a block. And then we're going to hug that left knee into the left side of our bodies. All right, gently push yourself up. And then we're just gonna go ahead and bring that left leg all the way back. So we're kind of meeting here in tabletop position again. But this time we're going to actually push ourselves forward or roll forward to an up dog position here, but the thighs will be touching the mat. And then let's go ahead and roll ourselves all the way down to the mat until our forehead touches the mat. Go ahead and extend your arms out in front of you. Here, we're just going to work with our back muscles. So on your next inhale, what I'd like for you to do is just kind of leave everything from your waist down on the mat. So we're gonna lift everything that's from the waist up. So on your next inhale, we lift. And release. Inhale, lift. Exhale, release. One more time. Inhale, lift. Exhale, release. And now, keeping everything from the waist up, just on the floor, we're gonna lift everything from the waist down. So on your next inhale, lift. Exhale, release. Inhale, lift. Exhale, release. One more time. Inhale, lift. Exhale, release. And this time we're going to do it all together at once, lifting both everything at one time. So on the next inhale, lift everything off of the floor and hold. Exhale, release. One more time. Inhale and lift. Exhale, release. Let's go ahead and bring the palms just outside of our chest and push ourselves all the way up. And then move ourselves so that we are onto our backs. Let's go ahead and bring the knees into our chest and giving ourselves a big hug. And let's move this into baby. Oh my gosh, I forgot the name of the asana. But let's go ahead and bring the knees into our armpits, flexing both of our feet. Happy baby, there you go, happy baby. So you can go ahead and rock to the left or to the right, just kind of massaging the spine. And if you want to take it a little bit deeper, you can also go ahead and straighten out the legs and continue to rock. And whenever you're ready, let's go ahead and bend the knees again, bringing the knees together. We're going to bring our arms out into a letter T and drop the right knees all the way over. Dropping our knees all the way over to the right side of our body. So spinal twist, just to kind of neutralize our back from working on those micro back bends. Inhale back to center. Exhale, we're going to go ahead and twist over to the left. Trying to keep the knees at the same kind of line here and keeping the shoulders all the way down to the mat. Inhale back to center. Again, let's go ahead and give ourselves a big hug. And let's do a couple rocks until we can meet back into a comfortable seated position. Once you're in your comfortable seated position, let's go ahead and take a deep inhale through the nose. Remember, pulling from our belly, drawing our shoulders all the way up into our ears. Exhale through the mouth. Release the shoulders. Let's do that a few more times. Inhale through the nose, lift the shoulders all the way up. Exhale, release. Inhale through the nose. Exhale, release. Let's go ahead and extend the arms all the way up, fingertips to the ceiling, palms to touch, bringing our prayer hands to our third eye between our eyebrows. Thank you so much for showing up today on your mat, making time for yourself. It is always important that we make the time to become aware of what's going on inside, just as much as we're becoming aware of what's going on the outside. Let's go ahead and bring our palms to heart center. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste.